ರಾಮ ಗೋವಿಂದ ನಾರಾಯಣ Every person in this world who would like to rise from the level of disturbances to the level of peace, from the level of agitation to the level of sublime calmness, from the level of grief to the level of happiness. If there is even the slightest intention that I don't want all these disturbances, remember this point is very, very vital. Whenever you think about anything called as rise, the word rise means there will be something which is low. Only when there is something low, we say we have to rise, isn't it? So, if we intend to rise from where we are, then we should assess the situation. One should know at what level one is and what is the launching pad. One should know at what level one is, and then one should know that how hard is the launching pad and how we are able to rise. We must know the process of rising. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನಿರುವ ಇವಾಗಿರುವ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೇಲ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಪಟ್ಟರೆ, ತಾನು ಇವಾಗಿರುವ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೇಲ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೊಬ್ಬರು ರುದ್ರ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಕಂಠಪಾಠವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ರುದ್ರ ಮಂತ್ರ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕಂಠಪಾಠವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ ನನಗೆ ಕಂಠಪಾಠ ಆದರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸು. Somebody one of these ವೇದ mantras are there called as Rudra. It's a very nice mantra. Namaste Rudra Nanyauto Ishave. It's a very beautiful mantra which is chanted almost all over Bharat, all over the world. Wherever there is Vedic chanting going on, wherever there is a Homa going on, definitely they will chant this Rudra mantra. So if some of these boys, they want to learn it by heart, or anybody, if they want to learn it by heart and they want to chant it and they hear somebody chant it, ಯಾರೊಬ್ಬರು ರುದ್ರ ಹೇಳೋದು ಕೇಳಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ತುಂಬ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಯಿತು, ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಥರನೇ ರುದ್ರ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಬಂತು, ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಥರನೇ ರುದ್ರ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಬಂತು ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಂಠಪಾಠವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಬಂತು, ಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಕಂಠಪಾಠವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂತ ಆಸೆ. ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅವಾಗ? ಕನಸು ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಕನಸು ಕಾಣೋಣ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕನಸು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ನಾನು ರುದ್ರ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಏನು ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವೇನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಕೂಡ ರುದ್ರ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ? ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ರುದ್ರ ಬಾಯಿಗೆ? ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವ? ಈ ಕಡೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ತಿರುಗ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವ? ರುದ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವ? ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅವಾಗ? ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ದಾರಿ ಓದಬೇಕಷ್ಟೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ದಾರಿ ಏನು? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದಾರಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ರುದ್ರ ಹೇಳೋದ್ರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಿವಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು. So if you want to learn that mantra by heart, one is to read, chant yourself. The other one is to listen where somebody is telling you. Two methods are. Because by listening, consistent listening also, one can learn better. There are many people who learn hundreds of thousands of things not by reading or studying, just by listening. Many people in the villages are much better informed than 1,000 people who have read thousands of books. They are much informed. The reason is they listen. ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಕತೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅವರೇನು ಓದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಏನು ಓದಿರಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೆ ಕತೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. So there are two methods. There are two methods. One method is to exert yourself to study that. The other one is go and be in the company of the people who continuously chant it. Automatically it will come. It will just come like that automatically to you. Same way. If a person wants to rise from the level at which he is, you should understand the level where you are and you should see what is higher. One should know what is called as high. ಎತ್ತರ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಎತ್ತರ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗ ತಾನೇ ಹತ್ತಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಪ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಚಂದ್ರನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಆಸೆ. ಚಂದ್ರ ಬಳಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎತ್ತರ? So far as the moon, I want to go to the moon. That is beyond my physical possibility. Beyond my physical possibility. But still, man has continuously endeavored and then gone to the moon. ಆದರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಚಂದ್ರಮಂಡಲ ಕೂಡ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೇರ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಒಂದು ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಅದ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೇರ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಈಗ ಯಾರೇ ಮನುಷ್ಯ, ಯಾವ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹತ್ತಬೇಕು, ಮೇಲೆ ಏರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಇದ್ದರೆ ದುಡಿದರೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದುಡಿದರೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ದುಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ರುದ್ರ ಕಂಠಪಾಠ ಆಗಲಿ ಅದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ಲ, ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 100ಕ್ಕೆ 100 ಬಂದರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ. ಸೊ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as imperative. Effort is imperative. The great rishis give two examples. One example is called as the monkey cub and monkey mother. Monkey cub and monkey mother example. The other one is the kitten and the cat example. They give two examples. The kitten and the cat example and the monkey cub and monkey example. If you observe closely, ನಾವೇನಾದರೂ ಕೋತಿಗಳನ್ನು ತುಂಬ ಗಮನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಮರಿ ಕೋತಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಮರಿ ಕೋತಿ ಮರಿ ಕೋತಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಮರಿ ಕೋತಿ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತಾಗಿ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ, ತಾಯಿ ಕೋತಿ ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬಂದು ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಬಂದು ಕೋಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದರೆ ತಾಯಿ ಕೋತಿ ಆ ಮರಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ತಾಯಿ ಕೋತಿ? ಓಡೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಮರಿ ಹೋಗಿ ತಾಯಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ತಾಯಿ ಕೋತಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮರಿ ನೆತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ತಾಯಿ ಕೋತಿ ಹೊರಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಮರಿನೇ ಓಡೋಗಿ ತಾಯಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು. If the mother monkey and the cub monkey are together, if somebody comes with a stick or something, the mother monkey will run away. The mother monkey will run away from there and it will not wait or it will not pick up the cub monkey. Monkey mother doesn't do that. The cub has to learn on its own to catch hold of the mother immediately and then go. It has to, on its own, it has to learn. This is called as the monkey mother and monkey cub. Monkey cub prakriya or processes. Then we have the kitten, baby kitten, and the cat, mother cat. So beautiful it is. The moment the mother cat sees some danger coming, ಅಮ್ಮ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು? ಬೆಕ್ಕು ಅಮ್ಮ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೋಡುತ್ತೋ ಮರಿಗಳಿಗೇನಾದ್ರು ತೊಂದರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಮ್ಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಗೃತವಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಎತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಜಾಗೃತ ಮಾಡಿ. Immediately go wherever the kitten are, the mother will go and pick them up by holding them there. ಹಲ್ಲುಗಳಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿ ಮರಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತಂತ, the mother cat will hold the kitten by the neck here. Same way only a tiger also does. Same way lioness also does. The lioness, tiger, the tiger mother will go and get the teeth, you hold it here, but we think it is in the teeth, but we will be holding it in the gums. The same very canine teeth which can tear flesh, it will not hurt the cub at all. So beautifully it will hold and take it to a safe place and guard the child. The monkey doesn't do that. ಕೋತಿ ತಾಯಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಸಿಂಹ, ಹುಲಿ, ಬೆಕ್ಕು ಇದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡೋಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ತೊಂದರೆ ಬಂತು, ಅಪಾಯ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಮೊದಲು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಭದ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ರೈಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್, ಡು ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿ ಮಂಕಿ ಕಪ್ or do I want to be like the kitten? Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa gives this example. You either be like a monkey cub or like a kitten. Which do you want to be? If you are a monkey cub, that means you want to play around nicely. You want to play around nicely. You can play around, but remember, you have to catch hold of the mother. You have to catch hold of the mother. It is your duty, because the mother will not worry about you. There is another example given in Vedanta Shastra. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಕೋತಿ ಮರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಬೆಕ್ಕಿನ ಮರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಬೆಕ್ಕಿನ ಮರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಕಾಪಾಡು. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೋತಿ ಮರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ನೀವೇ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ವೆನ್ ದ ಮದರ್, this is an example given in the Vedanta Shastra, that when a mother is washing clothes and she wants to dry the clothes on the terrace, and there is a staircase. There is a staircase and nobody is at home except the infant child. ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಗು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಅಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತು ಮಗು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಮ್ಮ ಬಂದು ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಹಾರಾಕಬೇಕಂತ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಮ್ಮ ಬಂದು ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಹಾರಾಕಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Now she has to go upstairs and she can't take the child upstairs. So what she does, she leaves the child with some toys. She leaves the child with some toys. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಮಗು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಗುಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಟದ ಸಾಮಾನು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಗೊಂಬೆಗಳಿದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಗೊಂಬೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಮಗು ಗೊಂಬೆ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೆಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು she'll be drying the clothes. As long as the child is playing with the toys, mother will calmly carry on her work. As long as the child is playing with the toys, mother will just peep, come here and peep. ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಗು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಒಣಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. By chance she sees the mother, child is crying, and it has given up all the toys and is trying to climb the steps. What will the mother do? She will leave her work and then come running. The mother will leave all her work and she will come running to take the child, and then again she will give toys. A better toy she will give. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಗು ಏನಾದರೂ ಗೊಂಬೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮೆಟ್ಲತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಓಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಗುನ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ ಆಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ಗೊಂಬೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಶಿ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್. Again the child will be playing with the toy for some time, and after she has fed up of the toys and again come towards the steps. Then mother will come running, and then she sees that child is not accepted. She will take the child along upstairs. She will keep the child upstairs by the side of her, and then she will start doing her. So if you want to rise, you have to give up toys. If you don't give up toys, mother will not come to pick you up. You know that you can't rise. You know that you can't rise on your own. You want to rise, but you want the toys also. If you want the toys, play with the toys. Keep on playing with the toys, mother will not bother. So these are all the examples given in the beautiful philosophy for a person who wants to rise. You either be a monkey cub, or you be a kitten cub, the cat cub, kitten, or you be like the child who wants to rise despite the toy. Doesn't matter, toy do not matter. ಇವಾಗ ಮಗು ಏನಾದರೂ ಗೊಂಬೆ ಜೊತೆ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಗೊಂಬೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಬರ್ತಾಳ? ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಗು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟ್ಲು ಹತ್ತಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಮ್ಮ ಓಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾಳೆ. ಓಡ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮೇಲೆ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಒಣಗಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಟ್ಟರೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಆಟದ ಸಾಮಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಆಟನೂ ಆಡಬೇಕು, ನಿದ್ದೆನೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹರಟೆನೂ ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ರುದ್ರಾನು ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಚಮಕಾನು ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಬರಲ್ಲ. This is the beautiful part of human life where udyamena hi siddhyanti karyani namanorathai. Any karyam, any activity you want success, if you want success, you must endeavor. If you endeavor, then there is the possibility you get divine help. If you don't endeavor, there is no possibility of, well, if you want to be like the Kirtan, don't do anything. Should not do anything, remember. That is how Prahlada is then. He did only one thing. What was that? He never made any effort to become a big yogi or anything. He just said, wherever I am, my Narayana will protect me. Wherever I am, whatever I am doing, my Narayana will protect me. Prahlada ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅವರು ಯೋಗಿ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಯೋಗಿ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವ ಸಾಧನೆಯೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋದ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಾರಾಯಣ. My Narayana will protect me wherever I am. Why should I worry to make any effort at all? And so Narayana has to come and protect the child. Wherever Prahlada was, he is called as Bhagavata Uttama. Prahlada is called as Bhagavata Uttama. That is absolutely dedicated to Paramatma. 100% dedication. There is no doubt at all that my Lord will protect me. Without doubt he was there. So when they threw him from the cliff, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. So they threw him from the cliff. He was just beautifully supported and protected by Narayana, who came and just held him there. And they left him. Then they tried to trample him with elephants. ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ತಳ್ಳಿಬಿಟ್ರು ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದನ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಯಾವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು ನಾರಾಯಣ ಅಂದರೆ ತಂದೆ ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಿರಣ್ಯಕಶಿಪು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಮೇಲಿಂದ ತಳ್ಳಿಬಿಟ್ರು. ಅವರೇನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ತಂದಿಲ್ಲ ತಳ್ಳಿ, ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಾರಾಯಣ. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಬಂದು ಹಾಗೆ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತುಳಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದನ 10 ಆನೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತುಳಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆನೆ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ the elephants are coming to trample upon Prahlada, and Prahlada is simply saying Narayan, Narayan, and the elephants are seeing lions. Prahlada is not there. What the elephants are seeing are lions. The elephants are frightened of Prahlada because Narayan will come there also. But that is a very, very high state. That is a state of absolute expertise. That is a state of absolute surrender. Absolute surrender. Absolutely there is no question of I, mine, nothing is there. ನಾನು ನಂದು ಅಂತ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಹ್ಲಾದರ ಥರ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಂದು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ವಿಧವಾದ ಅಹಂಕಾರವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಒಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಪೂರ್ಣವಾದ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಪಾಠ. So that is why the scriptures first they will tell you, do this, do this, do this. Then you will know, as you go there are beautiful episodes are going to come. As we proceed in the Bhagavatam, one of the most beautiful episodes are going to come where some will be of surrender, some will be of effort. All will come in this one. Both are posed before you. ಎರಡನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಭಾಗವತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಡುತ್ತೆ. ನೀನು ದುಡಿದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ಬಾ ಅಥವಾ ಶರಣಾಗತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೇಲ್ಬಾ. ದುಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಲ್ಬಾ ಅಥವಾ ಶರಣಾಗತಿಯಾಗಿ, ಎರಡೂ ನಿನಗೆ ದಾರಿ. Now what we are seeing is the effort of the yogi, how to take the prana to this level. How to take the prana to the level of this Sahasrara Chakra. We'll read this and then try to follow what it means. The self-disciplined yogi, it starts, the sentence itself starts, the self-disciplined yogi, the one who has controlled his mind, the one who has controlled his senses, he is called the self-disciplined yogi, should draw the air located in the circle within the navel, known by the name of Manipuraka, upwards into the chakra located in the heart called Anahata. See, if you see the chakras in the body, the chakra which is at the seat is called as Moola Adhara. ನಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಚಕ್ರಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಿದರೆ, ನಾವು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಚಕ್ರ ಬೆನ್ನು ಮೂಳೆಯ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆನ್ನು ಮೂಳೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, the end of the backbone, just in front of that edge of the backbone is called as the Mooladhara Chakra. That is the Mooladhara Chakra. Tvam Mooladhara Sthitosi Nityam. So the Ganapati has to say, Mooladhara Vasa Martha. After that, then comes the Swadhisthana Chakra, which is just between the navel and the Mooladhara. So between the navel, we have Swadhisthana Chakra. So people who are not still self-disciplined, for them it is very difficult to awaken the Shakti from Mooladhara. ಯಾರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ವೋ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಶಕ್ತಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮೂಲಾಧಾರದಿಂದ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಜಾಗೃತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And then once it comes to Swadhisthana, from Swadhisthana we should take it to Manipura, step by step. Mooladharaika nilaya, Mooladharaika nilaya, Brahma-granthi vibhedini, Manipuranta-rudita, Vishnu-granthi vibhedini, Ajna-chakrantara-lastha, Rudra-granthi vibhedini, Sahasraram-pujarudha, Sudhasara-vivarshini. This is the Lalita Sahasranam names of Devi. So Mooladharaika nilaya, Mooladharaika nilaya. She is now residing in the Mooladhara. It means all our, what do you call as the condensed form of Shakti. The condensed form of Shakti is there now at the bottom of the spine. It is lying dormant. It is called as Swapishi. Swapishi means sleeping, dormant. The Shakti is dormant. That Shakti will not awaken on its own. Whatever activities we are doing, it will just be silently sleeping. But the moment we pay attention to that Shakti by arresting certain amount of activities, senses and mind, then what happens? It is tickled. The Shakti is tickled. The moment the Shakti is tickled, it cannot keep quiet, it has to rise up. The Shakti cannot keep quiet. It has been tickled. It has been awakened. By what? By control of the mind, by control of the senses. ಯಾವಾಗ 5 ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ನಾವು ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟುಪಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಮೂಲಾಧಾರದ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವಾಗ ಎದ್ದು ಬಿಡುತ್ತದೆ. It wants to rise. It is so difficult to rise because of so many thoughts coming. The moment the thoughts are all concentrated, the Shakti slowly rises and comes to the next chakra called as Swadhisthana. It will come and reside there in the Swadhisthana, and first time the yogi will experience special powers. He will start experiencing the first set of special powers. What is that power? If he thinks of somebody, the person will come there. If he says something, that will start happening. All these things will start experiencing. But one should not dwell there. One should not dwell in those Shaktis and get lost. Oh, I got this Shakti, I got this Shakti. Then again one continues to concentrate. ಇನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಸ್ವಾಧಿಷ್ಠಾನ ಬಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಡೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಡೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Then slowly the Shakti is now rising by concentration. It will rise now. It will come to the Manipura, which is the navel. From the Swadhisthana, it will rise to the Manipura, navel. That is where this yogi is. Now Bhagavan Vedavyasa is talking about Manipura. Up to there it has come because discipline is already there. Discipline is already there, so the Shakti is already at Manipura. From there he is going to begin the sadhana. The self-disciplined yogi should draw the air located in the circle within the navel, known by the name of Manipuraka, upwards into the chakra located in the heart called Anahata. From the Manipuraka, from the navel, he has to now slowly take the Shakti upwards, called as Anahata. Anahata, the word meaning of the word Anahata is without striking. The heart chakra, or what is called the solar plexus chakra, is not struck at all. It sounds on its own. It sounds on its own only by sadhana. Now, from the Manipuraka, the Shakti is risen up here. The moment it comes to Anahata, slowly we start experiencing internal beautiful sounds in our body. Very, very beautiful sounds you will start experiencing in the body the moment it has come to Anahata. Body would have become light, absolutely light. Physical weight will not at all matter then. The physical weight of the body is not at all a question there. The body starts becoming lighter and lighter. Then from there onwards, the next chakra called as the Vishuddhi. The heart chakra is called as Anahata. From there onwards, it's going to Vishuddhi now. Then, following the course of the Udana air, he should take it to a circle located above the breast, known by the name of Vishuddhi. Above the breast is here, above the chest here, exactly this part, this is the Vishuddhi chakra. So from the Anahata to the Vishuddhi, again he concentrates his complete mind on, then automatically the Shakti rises. ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅನಾಹತ ಚಕ್ರದಿಂದ ವಿಶುದ್ಧಿ ಚಕ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಜಾಗೃತಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. You can imagine how much transformation has taken place in the yogi. Lot of transformation has taken place in the yogi. Purity has come, but still it is not 100% pure. Now he has to still take it higher. From here he has to take it to the Anahata chakra. From the Ajna chakra, from the Ajna he has to go to Sahasrara. So that also is being explained. And again, with the help of reason, he should gradually push it to the root of the palate. That is the top of the Vishuddhi chakra. Thereafter, see from here, it is going to the root of the palate, where the tongue is there, the edge of the tongue, there it goes and resides. It goes and resides there. And from there onwards, thereafter, having closed the 7 passages, namely the 2 eyes, the 2 ears, the 2 nostrils and the mouth, he should take the air from the root of the palate to the circle located at the middle of the eyebrows, namely the Ajna chakra. From here, again now he is going to completely arrest. It means his ears are open, but he doesn't hear anything. His eyes are closed already. From the nose, he doesn't experience any smell. The mouth is also free from taste. Automatically, the Shakti is now rising from here. It goes to the middle of the eyebrows. ಏನು ರುಚಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ರುಚಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕಿವಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಶಬ್ದ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮೂಗಿಂದ ಕೂಡ ಯಾವ ವಾಸನೆ ಅನುಭವ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Moment has come to the Ajna chakra, that is the residence of the Guru. The Guru resides here. Guru resides here only. Once the Guru is residing here, what happens? All the knowledge has come. All knowledge has come. Every single thing is known, but that is also not the ultimate. ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವುಡ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್. Then, if he has no desire to visit the higher worlds, he can visit now. If he wants to visit the higher worlds, he can visit from here. He can go and see all the worlds. That is how the rishis have known the distances of the sun and the moon from the earth. They knew this distance from the sun and the moon and all the other planets. They knew it just by sitting down and doing meditation. From there onwards, now goes to the higher level. Then if he has no desire to visit the higher worlds, he should pause at the Ajna chakra for about half an hour with his gaze fixed on his goal and taking the air into the Sahasrara chakra located at the crown of his head, attain union with God. Finally, breaking open the crown of his head, he should abandon the body and the senses. ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಸೆ ಉಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಈ ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇಚ್ಛೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಬಂದು ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೊರಟು ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂತು. Sahasrara, 1000-petaled lotus. He would have come there and he is now in full bliss. Absolute bliss. There is no desire, there is nothing he seeks anymore, but he is the all-powerful person. Absolutely one with God. He is absolutely merged in God. Then if he wants to retain the body also, he can retain the body. If he wants to leave the body, then he breaks open the Sahasrara. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಶರೀರವನ್ನು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲಿನ ಸಹಸ್ರಾರ ಚಕ್ರವನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತೂತು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ತೂತು ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. He will leave the body and then he will depart. This is something what I have told you, what the Bhagavata has told in such few lines. It is a lifetime's experience. It is a lifetime's experience, and until one practices, until one will never know, one can keep on talking about this. One can write pages and pages and pages about this one, but one will not experience even an iota of it unless one practices. Hari Om Tat Sat. Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Krishna Mukunda Janardana, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Krishna Govinda Narayana Hare, Achyutananda Govinda